Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. It is March 8th, 2021. It is Monday morning. And it's a pleasure to be here with you. This is the Hive-Engine Weekly Developers Meeting. So things are going pretty well. We've had a lot of success with Ethereum. We should have NFTs that anybody can create. We have our diesel pools operating, and we have rewards pools for those diesel pools coming. So let me. We do have Lion here, but he can't talk. So let me go through. I have three quick updates now from three devs that can't be here. So I asked Eon. Eon's working on doing smart contract SMTs, and he said he wasn't able to make too much progress last week. This week should free up time for me to get a lot done. Scoutbot work last week allowed him to unblock rolling out settings and nitrous for the pimp tribe, and the token's still on Steam. I'm not really certain why they still do that, but that's what they do. So there's still like a little bit of interoperability that we're trying to figure out there. So helping that, and then I was asking Don Chait, how are the rewards coming? He said testing today, should be posting for review tomorrow. Initially thought the NFT modifiers could be done at the same time, but it's just too much in one go. So he's branched for an update and focused on just rewarding on stake at first, which is totally fine. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, and then we have Lion here. DSwap crypto the Hive-Engine and Hive-Engine and swap.tokens went live. Worked with Bait on the mobile HE calls this week. Ethereum deposits withdrawals on Hive-Engine Classic. So Hive-Engine got Ethereum, and that's going pretty well. And I don't know. It just all these different pieces are moving along, and I'm excited to see them. Cryptomancer, why don't you give us a start of where you're at and what you're working on, what you did, and what's coming next?
All right, so work is proceeding on the Ethereum bridge, and it's really awesome that we now have ETH deposits and withdrawals live. So that was the first stage of the Ethereum bridge, but it's not over with yet. There's still more stuff coming. So here's the progress status for now. And you see I've added a bunch of stuff to this from last time. So where we're at right now is that ERC20 support is done on the back end and tested. And now Riaz has to add that to the front end as his next task. So I spent today spinning up a new QA instance of the gateway. The previous QA instance that we had has now become the production instance. So I took another one of my own dev servers and spun up a new QA instance on it. So Riaz can use that for testing the ERC20 support. I'll give him some details on that tomorrow so he can get started on it. And now that ERC20 support is done on the back end, one of the next things I'm going to look into is making it so that you can automatically add ERC20s with the click of a button. So right now it all has to be manually configured. So if we wanted to add, say, rep, for instance, we could do that right now, but we would have to manually add that to the gateway's configuration file. The holy grail here is to have it so that there's actually a nice web form where any person could just go on there and pick their favorite ERC20 token and click a button, and it just automatically gets added to the gateway for a fee, of course. So that is what I'm going to be working on next, and that's the block of tasks that I've added down at the bottom there, automatic addition of ERC20s for a fee. And this is kind of a good-sized little mini project, so I expect this could probably take a week or two. Just going through all the things that I've got done there. There's a bunch of various pieces that have to be in place in order for that to work correctly. And in addition to that, there's a couple of more minor things that need to be done for the gateway itself. So right now for tech support, we have an easy way to see when things go wrong. We have a team private Discord thing for monitoring the gateway. But if something goes wrong, I'm the only one that can currently fix it right now. So our regular tech support guys are trained to do tech support for all the other tokens, which use a completely different system developed by Privix. But I'm the only one that can currently do tech support for this gateway. So I'd like to add some features that allow our tech support guys to easily do it themselves, so I can kind of offload that work onto them rather than having to monitor it so carefully myself. So that's the little Discord bot for tech support that I want to add to it, which will take the place of the admin UI we have for other tokens. And then we also need the gateway to be able to issue new tokens when needed. So currently it can't do that. So we just have a whole bunch of swap.eth sitting on the gateway, which will get used as needed to handle deposits coming in. But ideally, when that supply runs low, we want the gateway to be able to issue new tokens itself instead of having to manually replenish it all the time ourselves. And that's going to be a huge deal. It's not too big of a deal right now when we only have swap.eth, but it's going to be a huge deal if we suddenly find 100 ERC20s being added, because we can't keep on top of all of those manually. So being able to issue new tokens is something that's going to need to be in place in order for the automatic addition of ERC20 stuff. So those kind of go together. So that's going to keep me busy for the next little while. And then once I've cleared that, then I'll start taking a look at wrapped tokens and being able to take Hive-Engine tokens and move them onto Ethereum, which is the reverse process of having the ERC20s and moving them onto Hive-Engine. So that's where we're at for now. Gateway work's proceeding well. No big showstoppers in the way. Yeah, it probably would make sense to look at that first, actually. Yep, now that you mention it. That will probably be a shorter project, so it's a bit of low-hanging fruit that we can look at and then come back to the wrapped tokens after that. Yep, I expect so. Yes, so that's definitely something that I'll look into. Yes, exactly so. So we'll have safeguards in place to prevent people from being able to do that. And the tokens will actually be created with us as the owners, the Hive-Engine account specifically. As an yes, that will be a reserved token name, so nobody will be able to create those but us. Yep, yeah, it would be pretty bad if misunderstandings like that occurred, so we will take precautions against that. Yes, that is correct. ERC20s are working on the back end. Yep, Rio still needs to do the UI before they'll actually show up as options for people to use, though. But you can just let me know which ones you want initially, and I can add the config for that on the back end. Now, if you just look at coin market cap, there's probably a handful in the top 50 or so that you could grab. Yeah, a couple off the top of my head. Rep. I don't know. Let's see. Economy. There's a couple other big ones. Bat. Yep, there's a whole bunch that we could choose from. It turned out to be a pretty simple extension of what I had in place for S, just like a matter of using a different kind of API for the ERC20s, and then all the rest of the stuff still worked as is. So that was nice. I don't know much about Binance Smart Chain myself, so I'd have to look into it. Um, Getting a gateway for that is going to be a large project because it's going to require rewriting much of the Ethereum gateway. So we can't just take the Ethereum gateway and port it over to Binance Smart Chain by changing config or something. It's going to be like a rewrite of most of the code. Um, no, it's like a totally different API and stuff. It's going to be a bit of work. Yep, sounds good. And if we did want to add ERC 721s to the gateway, that would probably be a pretty straightforward extension. I'm already aware of an API for that we could just plug into it. All right, I can add that to the list. I mean, I don't know if it's completely that simple. There's some things I still have to check on it, but my gut feeling is it's going to be a pretty straightforward thing.
Hi guys, good morning. Last week I have been working on the catch-all NFTs, and to put those NFTs or manage them, I also needed to code the no problem. That's exactly what the Agrod has said. So on one side of the Open Hive, we will have a mint form from where user can request to mint any NFTs they like. There is a category, and the interface is very similar to the NFT showroom and Lensi. So I don't think there will be much confusion. And to manage those NFTs, we needed to have an interface. That's the management interface, which was lacking on the first iterations of OpenHive. So I was also working on that too, as you can see in the below three screenshots. So that everything is done, but I need to do some testing. So after that, hopefully I'll be able to release this on the tribaldex.com tomorrow. For now, there is no admin interface, but we will have an admin interface to moderate the contents that will be minted for the catch-all NFTs. Because we don't want anyone to mint a copyright infringed item or some items that is not legal to be minted on an NFT forum. So for now, there is no admin interface, but every moderation will be done manually. It's not we can remove the item from the Hive engine, but we will remove the item from Hive engine interfaces like Tribal Dex. Yep, admin interface will come later. So for now, everything will be done manually. No, it's not done yet. Tomorrow. Yep, that's correct. Actually, seen some users deposited some Ethereum, so that's actually working. Good news there. I think the gas fee actually preventing people from using it. Yep.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So I think I'll just drop a couple of screens to before I start talking. So I made a lot of progress on the Hive-Engine mobile last week, and I think currently I'm actually done with it, just to clean up a lot of things from the UI and add a couple of details like conversion history and withdrawal history, for instance. Have not been added to the UI, but all of the calls have been made available. So I'm just finalizing those additional sub screens so that everything will be ready. So that's that about the Hive-Engine mobile. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to be, sharing the screen because I was able to add the pin lock as well. So the users can actually, because, I actually was waiting for the Keychain mobile to be available, to be made ready, but it wasn't ready. So I had to, encrypt and decrypt the users' keys in their local storage. So that was what I was able to do. Then these are the basic screens actually. I think a lot of people like to see them. So I'm just trying to log in now with my PIN so I can show the screens from inside the app. Yeah, sure. Just have a 6-digit numeric key. Then you should be able to encrypt and decrypt your keys locally. Hold on, I'm just trying to sign in. Okay. So that works. So on signing, I actually have to, get a couple of data for the chat because getting we don't have the chat used on the classic site. It doesn't work very well with the mobile app. So I have to be able to reformat the data to be able to work with the chat plugins available for mobile. So that's that about that. So I'm just going to go to the market screen. The market screen is also almost ready. As a matter of fact, when it's buy, it looks like that, and when it is sell, it looks like this. I'm actually trying to remodify the colors because that's actually a very loud green. So that's what I mean when I said cleanups. And there's also a toggle, a drop down at the top of the screen where users can actually get to select the token. So from inside the market page and everything gets loaded. Then when we go over to the bottom, we can actually see the order books, both the buy and sell order books. And then the user buy books and the user sell books. Basically, the entire market UI data is actually on the mobile app as it stands now. Um, and as per withdrawal works also fine. You have to authenticate your withdrawal with your PIN. So you don't have to enter your key every time you place a withdrawal. Everything just once you enter the 6-digit PIN, it checks against what has already been saved at the initial login. So one of the things I'm actually going to do is to ensure that on login, there's also another screen where you get to be able to set the PIN or modify the PIN that currently isn't available. So that's one of the things I'm going to be working on. But for now, just to get the alpha release out so that people can actually test and give their feedback about the various things. Okay, the full 8 decimal, that's actually fine. It's just I used the two fixed method, so it's actually easy to change back to 8 digit precision. And since there's a lot of screen on the there's a lot of space on the screen, so I think that's possible. Then I'm okay. Then one last thing, I also added a token information screen, which is here. So depending on the I entered the market screen. Token information screen, which is this basically. Okay, hold on. I think that's the last screen I'm actually going to be showing for now. So this is token information screen. So I think those are all the most important screens for now. Every other ones. So this is the last one just being uploaded. So we got this. So I think everything is almost ready. So if we are going to be doing for Steam Engine Mobile, I think it's going to be way faster now. This is the first version of of this. So it's kind of difficult, but everything looks fine and gradually coming together. So thanks to Lion, he was able to help me with the contracts and the various calls. Yes, we actually put commas on the supply numbers. I was able to borrow the add comma method that is already available on the HE Classic site. So I was able to get the format method from there. So that works. So I think we're in a very good position. Alpha release will be out any moment from now. I just have to quickly finish the basic thing so that if there will be any bugs, it will be easier to track down and know where each issue is coming from. And many of the components are also reusable, so going forward, everything should work fine and seamless. Yeah. As soon as I'm done, I'll get it pushed. But for the App Store, Play Store is actually faster, so there's a guarantee that Play Store can actually go like faster, much more faster than the App Store. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as soon as I'm able to get the first release out, I'll switch my focus to the Avatar project. That's a priority for me now. Yeah, sure.